guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane Okoye, and if this is your first time on my channel, welcome, welcome. Take a good seat, bring your popcorn, bring your red wine because we drink wine over here, and chillax and join us because today we're going to be talking about my label story. And if you're already part of my family member, how you doing, baby girl? How you doing, baby boy? Get ready to hear this label story because listen. I went through it. I saw things I shouldn't have seen. Okay, let's get into the story.
Okay,
Let's
go.
go. Okay, let me start from my water break because I don't need to give you guys all the extra of being. I went in for a sweep 2 times. The first one wasn't successful. I was told it wasn't successful because the midwife wasn't able to, do the sweep properly, and so nothing really happened. The second one, I guess, was successful because um, I think 24 hours or less than 24 hours or more than 24 hours, I can't remember. After the sweep, my water broke, and then I had to get ready to go into the hospital. So I'll start from there. So October 1st, 4 a.m., I got up to pee and I just felt, whoosh. I was like, first of all, I was excited because it felt like the movies. My water just broke. That's what I felt like. Like, about for a second, that's what went. I was like, it felt like the movies. I was so excited. But then reality kicked in that a baby's going to be here any moment from now. So my water broke. I woke my mom up. I was like, it's time. I think it's time that my water just broke. So I called the hospital and they were like, oh, okay, I should come into the hospital, but first take your time, do what you need to do, then come in and then we'll see you and all that good stuff. And I said, okay, not a problem. I'm gonna be inserting videos because I took some clips. My sister was taking like clips of me in between like things that were going on. I started to straighten my hair because I was like, my daughter is not about to meet me out here looking dusty. But you know what happened? She still met me looking dusty. But at least it's the thought that counts. I tried to look good for her. I tried to present myself as a babe before she came into this world to see my face. I tried my best, but it didn't work out. God's plan took place. But yeah, so I was straightening my hair, packing up my drinks because I wanted to drink local Z, but I wanted it to be cold. So I put them in like my little flags and all that good stuff. Then got my McDonald's breakfast and ate my McDonald's breakfast. So I was just taking my time to get ready. And then after that, we went into the hospital and the midwife saw us, checked. I was like, oh, okay, I'm just 2 centimeters dilated at that point. This was still 1st of October. But I should go home. But if nothing happens and I don't start like contractions or, whatever it is, then I need to come in 24 hours since my water broke, which would be 4 a.m. on the 2nd of October. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So I get home, then at that point in time, my contractions started, but they were like random. It wasn't a pattern to it. It was like a random contraction. So at that point, I was still obviously I can't go in because nothing is really happening because it's still random. So when around 10 o'clock, it started to like get 10 minutes apart. So I was timing things, timing everything. I was moving around more. You guys can be seeing it in the clips I'm going to be inserting. So all this stuff was like just going on, and it was 4 a.m. So when I first went to the hospital, I was told that if I see something that's like greenish and black or something like that, then I need to come in immediately, like as quickly as possible, because that means that the baby has taken her first stool inside of me, and that is not a good thing. So I need to go in to be induced and stuff like that. So I said, oh, okay, no problem. So literally, as I was getting ready to go to the hospital, anyways, because it was about 6 o'clock, 4 a.m. the next day, so I had to go in. So I was like, and then I saw that. I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Ugh. At this point in time, my contraction were like 2, 3 minutes apart, but a little bit random-ish. But like it might be 3 minutes here, then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, and then maybe 5 minutes, and then 2 minutes, and then three. So it was like still random, but like a lot closer than before. So I was like, all right, cool. Me and my mom went to the hospital. We were given our own. It was like a room, but like there were other people there. Guys, at this point in time, I was in pain. Like I felt like out of nowhere, the pain that I was in at this point in time, this was just the beginning pain. Oh, the pain of the pain hasn't even started. So I was like, okay, cool. I need gas and air. I told the midwife that was there. First of all, before I even go into the story, this is where I'm going to make this point that sometimes as black people, we are our own problem. We are our own problem because we already know that there is systematic racism, systematic or institutional racism, institutional things that hold us back and put the lives of our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our daughters in danger when giving birth. But then you, as a black midwife, as a black nurse, as a black doctor, as a black whatever it is that works in a hospital, you do not listen and understand that when someone tells you they are in pain, they're not joking. They're not being dramatic. They're not like it's not a joke, sir. It's not a joke, ma'am. Like I'm in pain means I'm in pain, woman. And like I was telling the midwife at the time, she was a black woman, how much pain I was in. So she was walking around the room like I was a ghost, like I was Casper. I was just she was just floating. She was just moving around. I don't know what she was doing. She was just moving from what, just going about her business like no one was talking to her. I was like, please, can I get gas and air? At this point in time, I didn't want epidural because I didn't know the journey before that is in front of me. If I'm feeling this pain now, and I was only still 2 centimeters dilated, then if I get epidural now, by the time the actual pain comes in, it might be wearing off. So I was just like, no, let me start off with gas and air and build myself up. And then she gave me gas and air like almost an hour plus after asking for it. But at that point in time, my contract, like, okay, so at this point in time, I started vomiting. Like, guys, the shock your body goes into, I was like, why am I vomiting? Like, this is so freaking random. Like, sorry for TMI. But I started to gag and throw up in this room that the nurses thought, okay, if she's in this much pain, that means her contractions are probably coming in a lot more and she might be going into labor quickly. So they moved me into my own room at this point in time. And at that point in time, the pain was literally coming like every 2 minutes, like for sure, 2 minutes less. So I was like, please, can I get an epidural? So I was asking for epidural for over an hour, almost 2 hours of asking for epidural. This a woman kept walking up and down the whole room, walking in, walking out, writing things in a note, writing out. I was like, when can I get an epidural? She was like, oh, we have to do a blood test first. I said, for what? All this midwife appointments I've been going to, they've been drawing my blood. So I'm very sure you know what blood type I am. You're very sure you know what is in my blood at this point in time. You know the make of my blood. So what else are you looking for? Drawing my blood when I am in this much pain. She's like, oh, she's waiting for the results to come back before she can get a doctor to, administer epidural. I was, guys, I couldn't sit, I couldn't stand, I couldn't lay down. I didn't know what I was doing at this. Jesus. I was in pain. I was in pain. So much pain, guys. Like, till today, I still can't believe that I went through that. So, after everything happened, the doctor that was giving the epidural came in and He was like, okay, cool, that I need to be still. I was like, what do you mean? At this point in time, my contractions are every minute. I can't even keep still. I can't. I cannot. So he kept trying to like put the injection back up my back. I was just like, sir. He's like, keep still. I was like, listen, I'm not trying to curse out anyone because I said, God, I'm not going to curse out no doctor, no nurse because I'm in pain. I'm not trying to curse you out, sir. So respectfully, I cannot keep still. I cannot. I really cannot. I could try, which I am, but it's not working. Abort mission, it's not working. So he ended up somehow successfully getting the epidural to, go in after fighting. And the nurse was still acting very nonchalant. And please, let me also make this point. If you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a midwife, you work in a hospital, when someone is in that much pain from labor or whatever it is they're coming in for, the least you can do is be compassionate. The least you can do is be kind. The least you can do is just to be a nice, positive energy for that person. Do not be mean spirited because it does nothing but make the person in pain feel crappy and horrible. Like, don't make it seem that you doing your job is too much for you. Don't do that. Please don't. Like, I feel like if I sit down one day, I must sit her down and tell her, like, your energy was not it. Mama, it was not it because she's a bit old. It's not it. Probably like my mom's age. Not it, ma'am. Please. If you ever see this video, no, don't do that. So, luckily for me, her time was up. This was like, it was now coming around 8 a.m., 8, 9 a.m. So she had to switch with another midwife. This next midwife was God sent. She was lovely. Like, Jade, I'm not the best of your name, but Jade, you were great. May God bless you for me. She was so kind. She was so compassionate. She was just, she might not have understood the pain that I wasn't, but she just was just nice. So I felt safer in her hands than I felt with a nurse that was the same color as me, which is sad. Honestly, it broke my heart. Anyway, moving on. At that point in time, I've gotten the epidural, but I wasn't feeling so well. And then in the monitor thingy that was there, my sugar mama's heart rate started to drop. Guys, I promise you, the midwife usually just looked at me and she was like, I have to press this button. And once I press this button, the doctors are all going to rush in here. Like 15 of them are going to rush in here. And they're just going to tell you what's going on. And I was like, at this point in time, I was like, God, Jehovah Jireh, Elroy, Mr. God, you need to start seeing me. I needed to drop everyone's appointment right now and focus on your daughter. Like, focus. Sir, God, Mr. God, focus on me. That's this, like, that was how I was talking to God. Focus on Jane Okoye right now. Because whatever it is the devil was trying to do, it cannot work. It will never work. So as she pressed that button, all I saw was 20 doctors throw down in my room in a matter of 5 seconds. Like there were like 20 docs in that room, and they were like, oh, due to they checked to see if I was dilated enough, and I was still, my dear, I was still only 2 centimeter dilated. Since 24 hours plus later, I'm still only 2 centimeters dilated. So the doctor was like, you can be induced, but that's going to take time and your baby's heart rate is already dropping. We would advise, as your doctors, that you get an emergency C-section so that you can get sugar mama out since she's already in distress and you are in distress as well. It's not helping. So I was like, cut me open and bring her out. Cut me open, bring her out. At this point, I wasn't even trying to think about, I need to snap back and bring her out right now. What I know is I'm leaving this hospital with my child alive, me alive. If you have to cut me into five to do that, do it straight away. This was around 9 o'clock now. Next thing, they started to prep the room, the surgery room. For the first time, at that time I was 27 still. I'm 28 now. At that point, in my 27 years of living on this earth, I saw fear in my mother's eyes. For the first time, I saw fear. I've never seen fear in her eyes before. In my whole life, I've never seen fear. And I saw her in her silent moment between her and God, just praying that God don't let me lose my child. And I was so scared. I was like, so many people, like, what you guys understand, or you might understand, is that so many people go into this room and they don't come out. They don't. Or they come out without their child. Or their child comes out without their mother. Either way, someone is not coming out. And God gave me the grace, listen, to be out there, to go in, to cut me open, to bring out my child. I remember for the first time when I saw her, I just started crying. Like, I didn't cry my whole pain. But once I saw her, I just started bawling. Like, and all I could say for like an hour was thank you, God. That's all I could say. My mom prayed for me. We all went into the surgery room. They did it in seconds. This girl was out here in her loud voice, in her 3.8 kg weight. She was a heavy baby. She was a hefty baby. But you see, Elroy, the God that sees you when no one else sees you, he saw me. He saw me and said, you know what, my girl, you're going to live here with your child. Safe and sound. In pain, but safe and sound. And once she was out, that was the first time I could breathe in almost 10 months. In almost 10 months, I could do that. I could see her, I could hold her, I could touch her, felt good. But yeah, then after that, they sewed me up, wheeled us out, we did some skin to skin, stayed in the hospital for a day, and then, first of all, someone just had a C-section appointment. You are telling me that in 12 hours I should stand up and be walking up and down just so you can discharge me and put the next person in the bed. You man are rude, you know. You man are rude. Let me just tell you that you're rude. But that's not the bone of contention for today, which is horrible. But I was discharged the next day, and the pain of the C-section, guys, jeez, for like I was using a walking stick to walk around. That was it. That was how much pain that I was in, and for like 2 weeks, I couldn't feel myself. But after 2 weeks, I was like, all right, cool. It's getting a bit better. It's still painful, but it's getting there. Now we're 2 months and a few days, postpartum. It's just like, I don't know, it's not as painful anymore, but it's still there. You still feel it. And we're getting better. And I'm very grateful that God was faithful. God is faithful. And He saw me through that labor. And He's still seeing me through this journey of motherhood. And I'm grateful for the village that I have that helped me in raising my child. And Sugar Mama is just growing, and I'm very thankful to God. Like, You man do not understand. Like God is the God of Jehovah, but that man can he really really throws down when he wants to show off. So yeah, I'm very grateful. And yes, that's my labor story. I hope you guys, enjoy this video. Please comment below and share with me your labor story and what went through. Let's discuss and talk. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope I see you guys back here next time in a few days. So make sure you hit that subscription button, notification button, and share this video. And I'll see you guys back here next time. Take care, guys. Bye.